Welcome to ATN Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to provide solutions that will benefit humanity. Looking at the numbers of issues today, starting from Ogun State. Pregnant woman fakes adoption found in Kwara. From Nasarawa State, FRSC cautions driving schools on unethical practices. From Kaduna State, we won't allow insecurity to define the region. On Marriage, Presidency asks Nigerians to be patient with Tinubu. These are the issues we'll be looking at today. You can join us on all our media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, on TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and trades. So catch updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
One people, all of us,
leaders, politics.
nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order,
Honorable
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, on trending stories in sport and the globe, only on 18.
Back. Joining me on this conversation this afternoon is Dr. Godson Kelechi Nwogo, a public affairs analyst. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
Welcome, sir. All right, the first story for today is from Kwara State. That's from Ogun State, rather. A pregnant woman in Ogun State, Latte, falsely claimed she was adopted to avoid her husband's anger after another miscarriage. The Ogun State Police Command, through spokesperson SP Omolola Odutola, revealed that she flees with her father. Frustrated by the repeated miscarriage, Hamat orchestrated a fake kidnapping to escape her husband's expected reaction. A police anti-kidnapping team tracked her until she reappeared, and she is now receiving medical attention. Her husband had earlier reported her supposed adoption after receiving a WhatsApp message. This story, we talked about it last week. The husband said the wife was due to put to bed, to deliver. While on her way to hospital, she was adopted. And of course, investigation was ongoing, a serious one for that matter. And only for us to find out today that she actually staged the kidnapping, that she wasn't kidnapped. She rather tried to escape her husband's reaction due to the second miscarriage that she has had. Before we talked about the husband's reaction, which was not rightly stated here, what do you think about this issue of kidnapping? Now remember that Kayode Ebetokun once said that the reason it looks like the police are not actually working or are not on their toe whenever they are talking about the issue of kidnapping is because the majority of them staged it. Last week, a boy staged kidnapping to collect money from the parents, and we are having another one today. What do you think?
Yeah, people do things without realizing the impact it will have, both on themselves, in their families, and the society at large. The issue of calling or to accumulate funds or money for themselves. And so for this to keep being perpetuated, it shows that our security agencies have not done much in terms of curbing the issue of kidnap. So we see the case of this woman to be a very sad state, such that she has framed herself being kidnapped when actually she had a miscarriage. So to me, I think her actions are not accepted, or is not acceptable, despite that she had the fear of the consequence, and to properly also to the norms that are acceptable in society, rather than keep using this approach or means to get more money from their relatives. So
okay, so when you said that these issues show that the security operatives are not really doing enough, that's in the issue of, in the case of kidnapping. What are they supposed to do in terms of people forging their own kidnapped adoption? Remember that security operatives, they actually followed this matter up to an extent that the woman did not have any choice than to come. But in other cases, sometimes it might last up to 3 weeks, 2 days or 5 days, but at the end you will get to realize that indeed this was actually forging, a forged adoption. It wasn't really kidnapping. It is because the security operatives are still on it. In the process, they get to realize that this one actually faked the adoption.
Yeah, this one took a longer time for the truth to be unraveled.
Okay.
Yes. Other ones, but in this case, the police a resolution from their peers or maybe from their friends or from those who are close to them that they should do that. I've heard about a young man who did forge kidnap, and the sister overseas was told, and a huge sum of money was sent. It was after the ransom was paid that the very individual told a friend that he forged his kidnap.
So what about the trauma? What about all those, all those serious
Yeah, the
emotions?
trauma will be on the family members who will be feeling for the individual that their brother or sister has been kidnapped. So just that feelings is what they will have. But the very individual himself will be at his comfort zone because he's expecting some money to come to his hands.
All right, let's look at the Latif husband. Okay, that's the Latif in question. That's the husband.
Yes.
The husband is Latif. Let's look at that.
Caused by some medical deficiencies, health deficiencies in the woman. And doctors usually advise that if you have had first miscarriage, you should go to the hospital and let them do proper diagnosis in terms of discovering or knowing the factors or causes to that miscarriage. And most times also meant to have enough rest. And you know, it really transpired. She needs to explain to the police, to the husband, what actually happened. If she claims that
she had miscarriage,
because it will be difficult for a pregnancy that have stayed for
9 months.
9 months for a woman to have miscarriage on that. So I think that would be better explained by medical doctors.
Exactly. Yes. I believe you're thinking what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Though I don't know what I'm thinking though. All right, let's look at the next story from Nasarawa State. The Nasarawa State Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps warned driving schools perpetrators, proprietors against unethical practices at the workshop in Lafia. State Sector Command Lucia Samuel Mio emphasized the need of full training of applicants before tests and licenses issuance. Warning against proxim registrations, she highlighted that poor training leads to increased road crashes. The workshop, attended by 22 out of 45 driving schools in the state, aimed to enhance the capacities of driving school operators. Sunday Egu, acting chairman of the Nasarawa State Driving School Association, pledged to apply the workshop's lesson to produce qualified drivers. Well, they are not actually far from the truth. That's the FRSC. You know, a lot of persons, when you see them on the road, not that they do not know how to drive, but I believe knowing how to drive is knowing the road signs, knowing the road rules and regulation. But some of them just know how to drive, but they don't know all of this. And that's according to what I'm saying, some driving schools, they don't really take time to put their trainees into appropriate practices. Rather, they will just issue what's it called, certificate to them and all of that. What do you think about it? Is it that people are not patient to learn, or is it that the driving schools operators are equally not patient to teach? What do you think?
Yeah, the common thing in Nigeria is that everybody is interested of having a driver's license. It could, over time or some period of time, you might people stay at home, and the agents will go around getting driver license without going through the driving school trainings. The driving school trainings are very key, important in terms of giving the required idea, knowledge, training for individuals who want to drive cars, equipments on the road. The workshop that has been organized by the Federal Road Safety Commission is a very good thing. That encouraging the proprietors of this driving school to be very, very cautious about the trainings they give to their trainees or students. Now, it is important also that adequate training is given, both on the road signs, both on the road rules and regulations, traffic rules and regulations that are necessary for these trainees to have knowledge about, so that they can manage the driving and manage the people on the road. But we'll see that if we relate this with the situation on the road, we'll now find out that most of these drivers will question them. Did they ever attend driving schools? Were they ever trained? Or they just took the car and then start plying the road? Because many of them do not observe the road signs. Many of them do not really take cognizance of the traffic laws. They do not understand how these vehicles are, driven. And you can imagine that one common thing is that most of these drivers, they run one way, when in the actual sense, in the driving rules, it is prohibited, and people are careless about that. If you check the road, for example, at Tobigbo, is where I see people driving. I can't imagine. I keep asking myself, did these people ever go through the training? How do they get their driving licenses? And we see that there is recklessness on the road by the drivers. They are like people who never went to any training. So the road safety has done a good thing by issuing this warning to these proprietors. But the question is that how many persons attend these trainings? Because if we check it, several persons don't go to any driving school.
22 out of 45.
Yes.
Very poor.
Very poor. So we see that a lot of individuals do not go to driving schools, and we can see the results or the outcomes on both the accidents and all of those recklessness and all of those uncontrolled call it disobedience to the traffic rules and traffic laws. So all of this shows that these individuals never attended the driving school, and those who have attended, you will observe that they are very minimal.
All right, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We'll just go on a very short break. When we return, we'll look at the rest of the stories. To stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. Before we went on a short break, we were talking about FRSC warning drivers against not just reckless driving, and also warning the driving schools against issuing certificates when they've not trained their trainees properly. And I wanted to understand something, because most of these people, when you, those unfortunate individuals that got involved in road crash, when you get to check their papers, everything is complete. And you would definitely know that they went for driving school. It seems, will you say that the people that have not gone through driving school are more cautious than those who have attended? Because it seems the road crash is not based on who has gone to driving school and who has not.
Yeah, the individuals or drivers who have attended this driving school, regularly they are expected to abreast themselves with these road signs as well as the road traffic rules. It is not that if you go to driving school, then you are good to go, you can drive. No, it's something that has to be a daily updating that one should have to update his or herself, because we drive every day. So it shouldn't be that you got your driver license last year, or you went through the training last year, and for that reason you just abandon the knowledge, just claim that you have gone through driving school. No, you need to put yourself in picture of what is required by the traffic law, what you need to know. And as you handle the steering, you need to remember it. You need to remember it, that as you're now applying the road, you are to observe all the road signs. Somebody had one time or the other hit my car. Not that I'm at his own lane, but I'm at my own lane. So we see that this happens. So accidents occur on the basis that those who do not have this comprehensive knowledge in driving, and those also who are careless, and those whom, there are some persons who are driving and their body does not permit them to drive, but they find themselves driving on the road. So as a result of that, some of them could be sleeping and driving. I have a friend who was coming from Owerri, who was driving himself. He said when he got to one bushy area like that, he slept off, and he was on speed. So he said he found himself inside the forest, if not a tree that blocked the car. And it was very horrible to him that day, that he was sleeping. So these are some of the reasons that can cause accidents on the road.
Okay, now that the FRSC came up with a workshop, do you think there should be a room where no matter how many years you have been into this, some person say, yes, I'm an expert driver, so I can maneuver it. Do you think there should be a workshop that maybe every 6 months or every 2 years, they should go back to remind themselves about this road sign, maybe so that those people that did not actually go through training school, driving school, will have the privilege. All right, I think they really need to do this workshop, because I know here in Nigeria, a lot of drivers do not know what a zebra point really stands for. They don't know what it means, so they don't even observe it. Even when they see people want to cross, I mean, they will still be on speed. So I think there should be room for workshop, at least to remind us, not that we don't know, just to quicken our intellectuals again. All right, the next story. Governor Diko Rada of Katsina State assured indigents that the Northwest Governors Forum is committed to tracking insecurity in the region. Speaking at the Northwest Peace and Security Summit in Katsina, Rada emphasized the need for diverse method to combat banditry, which has disrupted lives and staved economic activities. He advocated for strengthening intelligence network, improving surveillance system with modern technology, and enhanced coordination among security agencies. Rather highlighted the importance of community engagement and cooperation with traditional and religious leaders. He also noted that addressing economic deprivation through vocational training, job opportunities, and support for small and medium-sized enterprise could help reduce criminal activities. Rather said that banditry and security cannot hinder, they can't allow that to define their region. We're talking about Castina States now. How is that going to happen when we still have, we have in a story where these bandits paid a village chief 700,000 in order to be able to assess the community. And it's not that they went to carry some valuables. They just went there to kill and kidnap. So how are they going to fight this when it's on the high level? And a lot of places are saying it will take years, it will take decades for insecurity to be completely eradicated from our society.
Yeah.
So how can they do this?
So eradicating security needs collaboration of both the government, community members, leaders, and all stakeholders in society. We look at the northwest and all the other regions in the north, that banditry, terrorism, and insurgency has really stiffened the economic activities of those areas. So we see that efforts need to be made, and I appreciate this effort that this group of states or governors have come together to take a collaborative measure to, curb the insecurity that has grown so wild in these areas. Insecurity can be curbed through strategic combat, through constant or consistent effort of government directing every resources, individuals, agencies on, curbing, fighting to eradicate this menace. So it can be curbed. There's nowhere in other parts of the, let's say in the other parts of the world, they had gone through this ordeal that we are going through today, and they woke up to see that this thing must stop, and they took the necessary measures and were able to achieve it. We can achieve it in this country if the government have the political will and the resolution to see that insecurity is reduced to minimum. It is possible, it is obtainable, and it can be achieved. So the idea of where these terrorists or Boko Haram are collaborating with some community members, like the case you did mention, where the chief was paid to allow them to come in to do all their evil. So it is in this case that the government also must have to set up a proper intelligence, assign some group of persons to get intelligence reports or information that can aid in knowing the individuals who are collaborating, joining hands to participate or to enable these terrorists to attack the communities, because a terrorist cannot come to a place where he does not know and successfully carry out his activities without being apprehended, because for them to succeed, it means there are internal individuals, factors that are joining hands with them, giving them the information, telling them what, where, and how they should go, where to go to see that they succeed in their evil works.
So are you saying that the level of insecurity is increasing because there are no collaborations, because we have security personnel, we also have local vigilantes, we have, of course, we have people in the society that are sending out reliable information to the security operatives. Yes, we know that there was a story, like we rightly mentioned, it was through the village here that that kind of menace happened. But are you saying that we are not doing enough? There is no collaboration of WhatsApp?
Yeah, the collaboration usually is heard or seen when these incidences occur. You will hear the government saying that the police, the army, and the vigilante, they are on top of the matter.
Meanwhile,
But the issue is that there should have been...
they are not on top.
Yes, they are really not on top.
They
There
are
should have been a fundamental arrangement that should, prevent that from occurring before you say you are on top of the matter. So the collaboration should be something that must be ongoing, whether there are attack or no attack. The people, the police and the army and all the security agencies with the local vigilantes and all of the other individual stakeholders, that they are together. One thing is this, it is very difficult for a uniformed personnel to really collaborate with a civilian. Because of that, there is that dichotomy between these two groups of persons. So the uniformed men will want to stay with their uniformed personnel, and the vigilante themselves, who are in form of a paramilitary, also will be on their own, and the others on their own. There is no interfacing of these groups in terms of giving intelligence, informations, and all of that. Police will want to do their own so that they will take the glory that it is through them. And that's the problem we're having. And that's why this insurgency is still ongoing. That there is that kind of, yes, non-collaborative effort that has ravaged the area. So these people who are terrorists keep assessing these local areas. They keep coming, and it's like no stoppage, nothing preventing them. They find it so fertile for them to assess these communities, and they carry out their works, and they go. No arrest, no nothing. But if there is a strong collaboration between the uniform and non-uniform personnel, then we'll find that these terrorist groups will not find it comfortable to come, because people are not agreeing with whatever they're doing. Nobody is accepting them and all of that. So I really solicit that these governors should do the best.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Gosson. Now let's look at the last story for today. The presidency has urged Nigerians not to pressure President Bola Tinubu over the new minimum wage bill, assuring it will be sent to the National Assembly once ready. Special Advisor Bayo Onaunga made this appeal after the organized labor requested consultation before the bill submission. Labor leaders' meeting had been delayed due to the bill's hold-up, despite President Tinubu's announcing a consensus on the new wage. Both the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress denied such an agreement. Onauda emphasized patience, noting that the 250,000 wage demanded by the workers' union is unsustainable for the federal government. Are we still supposed to be talking about the issues of minimum wage now? Because, of course, they have come up with so many things since the issue of minimum wage. I remember them talking about getting a private jet for the president and the vice, looking at the issues of insecurity. And we know that, well, we don't know. The reason why they are demanding this, I think if all Nigerians are eating well, at least things are within their reach and they work and see their money, they are comfortable, some things will reduce. Because if you look at it, people will say that it's unemployment that has pushed people into doing this. And minimum wage, though they say that 250,000 is not realistic, but they are still dragging feet on this. And the president are saying we should hold on, we should be patient. How long will Nigerians continue to be patient on these issues?
You know, the thing I discovered that, let me just speak generally, politicians are just interested about themselves. They are not much concerned about the public interest. and they fail to realize that good politics or society is where the politicians are concerned with public interest. What will improve the living condition of the people they claim to govern should be a priority to them. So we see that this minimum wage, it seems not to be a priority for it to have lingered for this long time. And the strike is over for over a week now, and there is no agreement that has been reached in terms of letting the public know about what the minimum wage that is agreed upon is. Labour have said this is what they want. The government hasn't said anything in conclusion to this struggle. So for the government to say that the public, the labor, organized labor should be patient with them, they should have a time frame of that patience. Because if the patience is infinite, then it means that there is no green light that will be seen. So this idea of wait for the president, wait for that, it is time marking, time wasting. The labor wants to hear what the president, what the government want to offer them, so that if it is conducive, then they continue. But if it is against their wish, then they know what next to do. Although we've heard that the labor say they are not going on strike until they hear what the government have to say. So to me, I think this time of waiting is not necessary.
And they talked about consultation with the president before all of this bill is being, before whatever thing they want to sign. But as it stands, they are not agreeing to that. What exactly are they avoiding? Why are they not working hand in hand? Why is there no collaboration between them? Why are they still disagreeing? What is...
The fact is that, everybody with his interest, and the government want to protect their own interests. Now, the question is, who owns the money? Who owns these resources? Is the generality of Nigerians. So not agreeing, not coming to an agreement, not coming to a time, because you will hear the government said this, that Labour has said this, Labour said they didn't say it, that the government are the ones saying it. So all of these differences are not necessary, because we are talking about the future of Nigerian workers. If nothing is done now, there is going to be more catastrophe and more problems. So we don't want a repetition of the strike, because it is not really going to tell well about the entire country. So the government should live up to their expectation. They have the authority. The resources is being controlled by them, and they should not just look at themselves alone. Flying a new jet is a good thing, but how about the ones that we have?
Sorry, did you hear what the Senate president said concerning that new jet?
No, remind me.
He said that the jet is more important than Nigerians' lives and their demand, that they are very much aware that Nigerians are suffering, but even